ways of how they will suppress it, how they will stop it, how they will conduct everything that's happening right now. The lockdown.
So in summary, what was the main purpose of this event in your own perspective, in your own understanding? What was the main reason for this event? What was its main reason?
The main reason for this event, if you understand what is called predictive programming, the elite, whoever they are, nobody knows them, nobody who knows their names, nobody knows who they are. They have this thing that is called predictive programming. They program the masses and prepare them for something that's coming. They use things like movies, TV shows, music, and celebrities to show people what is coming, but it's only those who have eyes to see that can read between the lines and understand that everything that is happening in the world today has always been told to us before, prior to it happening. So this event 201 was illustrating something which was going to come, really, but for only those who can see. Now, whatever is happening right now, everything which is being implemented was implemented in that event, and we are seeing it happening in our eyes. If you go back and read on that document, which explains how the event is going to take place, everything which is going to happen, it's happening right now. So the significance of that event has a spiritual essence to it, because the Bible says that we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities who rule in the heavenlies. Everything was happening right now. The COVID-19, it has emanated predictive programming, not only Event 201, but if you even check in the movies, there's this movie that is called Contagion. And over the years, Brother Jones, I know that you've been a movie guy from day one. You always watch these movies. And it's not sometimes I've been telling you that it's not all about the entertainment you get from the movie. But if you can read between the lines and see that you understand what the movie is talking about, sometimes it's not just for entertainment. To me, I don't watch movies for just entertainment. They're telling you the truth in plain sight. They're telling you what's coming. They're predicting, they're adding bits and pieces to make you understand what is coming, but it's only for those who are wise to see. Now, there are many movies that have come out talking about explaining these different pandemics that are going to happen. Sometimes if it's not a pandemic, it's an alien invasion, maybe it's some asteroid that's going to hit Earth, and all these this fear propaganda, fear campaigns that are being implemented in the movies to show that the world is coming to an end. But I didn't expect it to be a pandemic, this so-called pandemic. I thought maybe it would be a fake alien invasion or maybe some kind of threat. I remember back in 2012, Brother Josh, 2012, you know how everybody was running to the churches praying for the end of the world.
I think that was the time when they had said something was going to come and hit. It was something like that in 2012.
It was some kind of asteroid that was going to hit Earth. And I remember at that time, I even watched the movie 2012, which was explaining to us how, the world is coming to an end. And, all of these things, they keep telling us something is coming, something's coming, something's coming. And I knew that something was coming. I've been telling people for the last 5 years that something is coming. I didn't know exactly what it was. My prediction was a fake alien invasion because NASA was reporting, detecting different extraterrestrial beings out there that are trying to communicate with their servers. They're trying to come to Earth, detecting UFOs. That's when they came up with how they call it, Area 51, that nobody can go to, other than secret aircrafts that are flying in Earth's orbit. So I thought that it was going to be an alien invasion, a fake one, that they're going to inflict on the masses to try to create a global effect. I didn't think that it would be the so-called COVID-19. So if you can understand what I'm trying to explain to you, Brother Josh, I don't know if you're getting it, but Event 201 was trying to bring into existence a pandemic that will change the world. That is exactly what's happening right now, as you can see.
So now, what is the way forward? Okay, that after the meeting of Event 201, so we happen to get the virus all over the world. That is around January, February. That's when it gets intense. So what's the motive of this virus?
Now, first of all, the COVID-19, it is not, I've seen a lot of videos, people saying that the COVID-19 is not real. It's not, it's a fake thing. It doesn't exist. The coronavirus does exist. All of us have the coronavirus. If you get flu-like symptoms, if you have, let's say you have flu, let's say a cold, that's you have coronavirus inside of you. But there's this specific type of coronavirus that is being marketed to us, which is the COVID-19. Is it deadly? Is it harmful? Can it kill people? Oh yes, it can. If you have a very weak immune system. If you are not prepared, if you've been living a rugged lifestyle and your immune system is weak, maybe the majority of the people that are dying from the exact virus without any other thing, these are people that are yeah, exactly. Those are the majority of the people that are being affected by the COVID-19. And in most cases, they are people who have other symptoms, other diseases with them, like pneumonia, other respiratory diseases, illnesses like cough, difficulty in breathing. These are, people who have cancer, people who have very weak immune system. It doesn't kill you initially, like as a cold, because COVID-19 is just basically a cold, a mild cold. It affects your respiratory system, but it's not something that really kills you. That's why it has a very high recovery rate. Can you imagine that? The mortality rate of COVID-19 is 1.0%?
1.0.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that for a second? If you think about it, it's just 1.0% mortality rate.
It is small, but according to the numbers that are being aired around,
it's crazy. Now, yes, exactly. If you think about it, Brother Josh,
yeah, the numbers don't tally with the percentage.
Because if you have a global pandemic that is killing people at 1.0% rate, how are we coming up with all these numbers? These numbers are being exaggerated by the media. The media is controlled by who? Topic for another day.
Okay.
There was a hashtag.
That is a topic of another day. All right. Continue.
There is a friend of mine in the US who was telling me something very interesting. He told me that they are reporting on the news that thousands and thousands and thousands of people are in hospitals being checked for this virus. Others are being brought in by ambulances. Others are being bedridden. It's crazy, like it's a mess in the hospitals.
Yes.
Now, when he walked over to his nearby hospital to check and see whether, there are people who are being bedridden, ambulances coming in, he was shocked.
Just for clarity,
there were empty hospitals everywhere he went, and he was wondering.
Wow.
On the news, they were telling him down the street, ABCD hospital is jam-packed with people. People are coming in. People are bedridden. It's terrible. It's a mess. It's crazy. And he goes down the street to check out the hospital, and it's empty. So what does it tell you about all of this? I didn't want to go into details about the conspiracy theories, but what you need to understand is that right now, all deaths that are occurring in the US, the CDC released a new law for all the doctors to diagnose.
Yes.
When you are admitted in the hospital, you're going to be tested for COVID-19. If you have another disease, if you end up dying, that disease counts for nothing. That your death will be accredited to the virus, not the so-called disease that you had before, that you had come up with before. Now imagine this, Josh. You're having empty hospitals. So where are the sick people going? Because every day that you go to the hospital, a public hospital, a government hospital, you're going to find patients. Every time there are patients. But now when the hospitals are closed, where are the patients going? People who are dying right now, everyone who's dying, because I'm basing on the US, I'm not basing on any other country, because it's the US that has the most deaths as compared to other countries when it comes to coronavirus. So it is the US that is having all these deaths. Now, where are these deaths coming from? There are so many deaths. I was checking yesterday, there were around 3 people who were infected in the morning. And throughout the entire day, that number had risen up to the 200s and the 300s. And by the end of the night, they had risen up to 800 people had died.
Wow, this is pretty amazing. How you just such a number in one day?
I don't know about your understanding of postmortem, Brother Josh, because a postmortem always takes 1 or 2 days. But
True.
How are all these people who are dying, their results are coming back very fast that it is the coronavirus? Why? Because of the document that I told you earlier. The CDC released a document which orders all doctors, all medical personnel who are admitting people for the coronavirus to consider the virus itself to be the number 1 cause of death, not any other disease, not any other thing. If you came in with cancer and you die because of you had cancer for let's say all those years that you had it, and you end up dying, that death will be accredited to coronavirus. That is why the numbers are being this huge. So the number of deaths that are being accredited to the coronavirus, they're really being exaggerated. Everybody who's dying basically is being confirmed as a coronavirus victim. So if you are still doubting whatever I'm telling you right now, you just do your own research. Research about the event 201. Research about the document that the CDC, you go on the website of the CDC and you're going to see that document that is telling doctors that everybody who's dying, all that the death, the postmortem that's going to be
just
made,
put it as coronavirus.
So it's mesmerizing to me that people, they are buying into all of this. They're believing. I found a certain friend of mine recently in town. She's an old lady, and she was really perturbed. She was really scared, and because she's watching TV,